My name is Steve Young, and welcome to another video in where we answer the question, how do I use the MUX card or the matrix card? The matrix card is a really useful tool. It enables you to switch the resources in your PinPoint, whether it's an alpha sigma or whether it's a PinPoint 2R, out through the card and onto your PCB. And you can automate testing. Maybe like if you have a calibration to run, you could attach loads of test points on your PCB and then switch the instrumentation around the various pins and make measurements as you need to do. So to help you learn about the matrix card, we have a little tiny dongle that we plug into our matrix card, and we have some passive components attached to them. We have a 10k resistor, a diode, and a voltage that appears like a test point. One thing to remember is how the matrix card is laid out. So this is the pin configuration. So pin 1 is at the bottom left, and then it goes up to pin 2, back down to 3, up to pin 4, etc. All of your analog measurements will need to be performed in a subroutine. So here's the subroutine I've created. It's called R1 measure. And if you open the subroutine, I've got some gaps here to fill in. So what we need to do, the first thing we need to do, is we need to attach the instrument that we're going to use to the backplane to enable us to route it through the system. So here we have counter timer, ARB, DMM, DC source and LCR available to us. And we have 4 rows of backplane through our system. So what we need to do is, this is our DMM. The positive side of your DMM I will attach to row A. The negative side of our DMM I will attach to row B. So now we've attached our DMM to our backplane. If you just leave a little note, just to remind you when you're looking through your test flow as to what's going on in that little icon. So here's our analog switch. So next, we need to route that instrument through the system to the point that we're going to use. So I like to use the graphical interface, and we click Add. We click Add, and here's the graphical representation of our matrix card. It shows you all 4 connectors. Here are the 4 channels that we've just attached our DMM to. You select which matrix card you're going to use. If you've got more than one, select the card that you're going to use. So we know that on row A and row B we have our DMM. So we click the internal relays to now patch that through to this matrix card. And we saw in the previous slide we have a resistor across pin 1 and pin 2. So now our DMM is routed through the system and attached across pin 1 and pin 2. So we click OK. We can add a little comment, pin 1 and pin 2. So there's our routing. So that's the hardware sorted out. So now we have our DMM routed through the system, ready to use. So now we need to actually use our DMM. So here's our DMM. We drag our DMM into our test flow. We decide which measurement we're going to use. In this case, we're just going to use a 2-wire ohm measurement. And as it's a 10k resistor, I'm going to use the 20k ohm range. Click OK, and now we drag that in there. As soon as the test flow hits that DMM, it'll take a measurement. And in here, I've got a limit check. Now I've deliberately set the value low so that you'll see the value of the resistor pop up when we run the test. Okay, and I'm not going to branch on fail because I'm just showing you the theory behind it. Okay, and at the end, when we're all finished, I like to reset the matrix so that all the relays are open and ready for use in the next test. Okay, so we can execute this test. And you'll see down here the values will appear. So here's our value, it's 10k, and we can see that it fails, but this is just to show you the value. So that's our first measurement. So now we can carry on building. We can go into measure D1, we can go into measure the test point 1 at 5 volts using exactly the same theory before. So all of this information is in our help file. So our help file is easily accessed through all of our software, and all you have to do is just search for the topic. So I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us, and thank you for watching.